Next-generation COVID-19 vaccine and treatment efforts. 6 months after announcing the $5 billion Project NextGen to develop treatments and vaccines that can stay ahead of COVID-19, the U.S. government has awarded 20 contracts that reveal what much of that sum will support. The Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, announced on the 13th of October that up to $1.2 billion will go to 3 vaccine developers aiming to develop better shots, adding to another $1 billion already awarded to companies that will test them in year-long, 10,000-person clinical trials. Another $500 million will support development of monoclonal antibodies, mAbs, that can block SARS-CoV-2 infection. Current COVID-19 vaccines only prevent symptomatic disease for a few months and are even less effective at preventing infection. Among the new awardees hoping to do better are CastleVax and Codagenix, which have developed vaccine candidates that will be sprayed into the nose. The goal is to stimulate immunity at the mucosal membranes, a strategy that might prove better at thwarting SARS-CoV-2 than current shots. A third vaccine maker, Gritstone Bio, uses an injected formulation designed to protect against a broader range of current and future SARS-CoV-2 variants. Whereas vaccines train the immune system to fight infections, mAbs do the work themselves, and a subset of NextGen awardees hope to recreate the success mAbs had early in the COVID-19 pandemic. Back then, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration authorized 1 mAb to prevent infection against SARS-CoV-2 and 8 others to treat mild and moderate COVID-19 disease. But viral variants soon dodged the mAbs, and all are now off the pharmacy shelf. Myron Cohen, an infectious disease specialist at the University of North Carolina who advises several companies that make mAbs, notes the drugs might provide better protection against infection than existing vaccines. mAbs given every 6 months are just like vaccines, except there's no wishful thinking required, Cohen says. But others note that for now, mAbs are far more expensive than vaccines, limiting their use. If you were investing in new production methodologies for rapidly producing inexpensive antibodies, that makes some sense to me, says Mark Dybel, a former director of the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. But if you're just making more antibodies that are going to cost $8,000 an infusion, that's not going to do it. Dawn O'Connell, HHS's Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response, says her team expects clinical trials for mAbs to begin this fall, and tests of the vaccine candidates to start in the winter. O'Connell says the goal is strengthening us for whatever the COVID-19 virus brings next. The remaining $500 million in the NextGen funding announced so far will support development of innovative technologies such as skin patches to deliver vaccines, antiviral drugs that might work against a wide range of coronaviruses, and wearable sensors to detect infections. Few of those products have moved far enough in the development pipeline to earn a place in NextGen, and some experts see that as evidence that support is waning for higher risk R.